Everybody and good evening from Kota Kinabalu to Sabah. Okay, now let's do tutorial 7. However, I'm not going to do all questions because some questions are simply just repetitive. Okay, but I encourage you to do all questions. I'm only going to discuss you two questions. That is question number 2 and question number 4. For other questions, please do it by yourself. Okay, I've already give you the answer. Now, let's see number 2. Consider two perfectly negatively correlated. The keyword here is two perfectly negatively correlated risky securities A and B. It means that if A is goes up, B will go down. A has an expected rate of return 12%, that is this one, and a standard deviation of 17%. This one. B has an expected return of 9% and the standard deviation 14%. So basically here we can see that the security A, okay, has the higher risk. Now, what do you need to do? What does the question want? The question wants what is the weights of A and B, the W of A and B in the global minimum variance portfolio. It means here in a portfolio which follows the ideal concept, which a portfolio that inside it, it has to make sure that it minimize its variance. It means that portfolio that minimize the risk. Alright, so how can you do it? Alright, so in order for you to calculate the weight A for example, alright, you need to do standard deviation B divide by the total of standard deviation. You might want to ask, why is it here it's not A? Why it's A and B? Right, because alright, we have to minimize the portion of the A just now, the riskier security. So how do we minimize it, the portion? We need to do the counterbalance it. That's why you have here standard deviation as the numerator here. Okay, now for weight B, alright, you also do the same. Okay, instead of standard deviation B, you do standard deviation A. So if you calculate, you should get the weight for A is 45% and weight B is 55%. So in this case, alright, in this case, so in your portfolio, it justifies. What does it justify? It justifies that your portfolio has lower proportion, okay, lower proportion of riskier security, which is here security A. Okay, I hope you can understand this one. Now let's move to question number 4. Number 4 is very simple. Okay, security X has an expected return of 14, standard deviation 22%. Security Y has expected return of 16%, standard deviation of 28%. If the two securities have a correlation coefficient of 0.8, what is the covariance? Here you need to know, to memorize the covariance or correlation formula. So what is the covariance formula? It is raw correlation coefficient, okay, this one, times with the risk of A and risk of security B. So you just plug in the number 0.8 times with 0.22 times with 0.828, you will get your covariance is 4.9%. Alright, So that's it. That's all the answers for tutorial. If you see this thing, if you see the questions, except for question 1, all right, question 2 also asking you the same thing. Okay, question 5. Okay, question 5, I don't think I need to show you, because you can find it easily. The best feasible capital allocation line, the slope, okay, and then expected returns of stock C and stock D. Okay, this one you should be able to do it, because this question was from previous chapter. Chapter 7 also asked about the weight of K and L, and question A asks about correlation coefficient. Alright, so that's it for chapter 7. I hope please do it. And for chapter 1, for question number 1, I'm not going to show you how to do it, okay, because I want to test you. If you understand chapter 7, okay, if you understand how to do number 2, 3, 4, all these questions, and also the previous question, you should be able to do question number 1. Okay, all right, so that's it for today. Yep, good luck.